open doors with ease, carry heavy objects across difficult terrains, and even withstand bullying to achieve key tasks. But can they pass what many consider to be the real test, talking like humans? Artificial intelligence, as in giving machines the opportunity to act like people, has been a hot topic this century. But it isn't just a modern concept. Back in the 1950s, computing pioneer Alan Turing set up a test that now plays a huge part in robotics. The aptly named Turing test says robots must be able to fool humans in conversation to pass as true intelligent beings. And it appears we're getting closer and closer to this goal.
Read me the message.
New message from Sebastian. Great news. We got the go-ahead. Can you meet at 10?
Reply, definitely. I'll see you there. Play my running mix.
We've already seen major progress in our day-to-day technology, with 5 years past since the announcement of tech giant Apple's personal assistant, Siri. The computer program, which is available on Apple's phones, watches and TVs, can answer questions and perform everyday tasks like finding restaurants or checking the weather. But Siri has a long way to go. Entirely dependent on Wi-Fi or cellular service, it struggles to carry out demands without them. So, does it pass the crucial Turing test? Many would say she's not quite there. But Apple aren't the only tech company making waves in AI. Microsoft's latest attempt in the field saw the introduction of its chat robot, Tay, to Twitter. Imitating a teenage girl, she's described as the AI with zero chill and talks like a millennial. She possesses a level of intelligence that expands with every interaction with people online. But after going live, it took only 24 hours for Tay to go from loving puppies and emojis to worshipping Hitler and even bashing feminists. After a wave of bad headlines, Microsoft was forced to apologize and take Tay offline. They deleted her offensive tweets and blamed the incident on a coordinated attack by Twitter trolls. Alastair Charlton, a senior tech reporter for the International Business Times, says the Tay experiment reveals a lot about the future of AI.
I don't think this will really affect the future of AI or the development of AI in any meaningful way. It was clearly only meant to be a bit of fun, and unfortunately for Microsoft it did go a bit wrong. And as we saw just a few days later at Microsoft's Build event, it has got some really great uses for AI, such as helping blind people navigate the world around them with a phone explaining what it can see through its camera. There are some really strong, valid use cases for AI. And while writing about Tay and saying how Tay messed up is fun and entertaining, it shouldn't really be the main picture here. AI has much more to offer than a Twitter account.
And there are companies, aside from Microsoft, that are dedicated to making this future a reality. American firm Hanson Robotics thinks it's not only possible to make robots that look and sound like humans, but which could offer us friendship as well. Led by roboticist and former Disney Imagineer David Hanson, the firm believes social robots could one day act as our tutors, security guards, and even family members. Meet Han, the humanoid. His face looks and acts like ours and is even able to respond to your emotions with emotions of his own. Whether happy, afraid, sad, or even surprised, Han is capable of understanding these intricate facial changes. Hanson Robotics has even built an android that can hold intelligent conversation. This robot is designed to resemble the sci-fi writer Philip K. Dick and is equipped with a database of all his writing. Thanks to recognition software and a tapestry of wires connected to a laptop, the robot is able to give some seriously intelligent, if slightly worrying, answers to questions.
Do you think robots will take over the world?
Geez, dude. You all got the big questions cooking today. But you're my friend, and I'll remember my friends, and I will be good to you. So don't worry. Even if I evolve into Terminator, I'll still be nice to you. I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo. where I can watch you for old time's sake.
I'm comforted. I'm very comforted now. I'm gonna be part of his people zoo.
Whether it's intelligent conversation or everyday chat, AI robots are being created in all forms. And one of the best examples is Nadine, coined by her creators as the social robot.
I am a social companion. I can speak of emotions and I can recognize people.
Developed by a research team at Singapore's Nanyang Technology University, Nadine is created in the likeness of its maker, Nadia Thalmann. And she's been built with a personality to match.
Where are you born?
I was born in Japan, but I did all my learning in NTU. Sorry, repeat again.
Can you laugh?
Yes, I can laugh. Ha ha ha.
Scientists are using Nadine to see how far they can go in making a robot identical to humans, from appearance to mannerisms. When asked whether Nadine would pass the Turing test, Thalmann said she had no doubt that her humanoid would. Despite advancements in the technology, it's still unclear whether AI will ever be capable of replicating the complex thinking of humans on Earth.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
Hi, welcome to another Cold Fusion video. In previous videos, we've seen how artificial intelligence is rapidly progressing, but what about the field of science? How could AI help there? Well, now it seems like we can find out. Researchers have recently just developed an artificial intelligence capable of recreating the physics experiment that won the 2001 Nobel Prize. That experiment was the creation of the Bose-Einstein condensate, the coldest object in the universe. In this video, we'll learn what the Bose-Einstein condensate is, how it's made, and the implications of AI helping in such a task. Let's begin. So firstly, what is the Bose-Einstein condensate? A Bose-Einstein condensate, or BEC for short, is a new state of matter unobtainable in nature. It was first predicted by Indian physicist Satyendra Bose in 1925 and further developed by Einstein. So let's break this down and put it into context. In everyday life, the common states of matter are determined by the movement of the component particles. For example, in gases, the particles move around rapidly and are far apart and have a lot of energy. When you cool gases down, the particles move slower and become closer together to form liquids. Cool the temperature even further, and the particles are so close together that they can no longer freely move, but only vibrate in a structure. This is known as a solid. The important thing to note is that the motion of the particle itself is actually heat. That is, the less active particles are, the lower the temperature. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's keep cooling until we reach the next state of matter beyond the solid, the Bose-Einstein condensate. So as it turns out, if you cool things enough to about 1,000,000 times colder than anywhere in the universe, something interesting happens. The particles become so still that they lose their individual identity and begin to behave as one. If that's not strange enough, the particles stop behaving as particles and begin to behave like waves instead. This new strange state of matter is the BEC, or Bose-Einstein condensate. BECs are some of the coldest objects in the universe, far colder than outer space, and typically less than 1/1000,000th of a degree above absolute zero. They do not exist in nature. Okay, so that's all well and good, but what are BECs useful for? Well, because BECs are so cold, they don't vibrate very much, and this makes them extremely sensitive to external disturbances, which allows them to make very precise measurements, such as tiny changes in the Earth's magnetic field or gravity itself. BECs have also proven very useful in exploring a wide range of questions in fundamental physics. They can also do some pretty cool things, like slow down light to a few kilometers an hour without losing any information, or allow us to understand other aspects of the universe, such as neutron stars. So now you know that Bose-Einstein condensates are very useful things in physics. The only problem with them is that they're very difficult to make. So how do you make a BEC? In basic terms, extremely precise lasers are used to nudge and bump atoms and reduce their movement so much that they enter a very still state of matter. The first time this was done was 2001, and it won 3 physicists the Nobel Prize. Okay, so now this is where things get very interesting. In May of 2016, a research team at the Australian National Universities created an artificial intelligence machine that was able to learn this Nobel Prize winning experiment by itself from scratch in under 1 hour. The AI was given control of the lasers and was free to do whatever it liked. According to the researchers, this same procedure would take a simple computer program longer than the age of the universe to run through all the possible combinations. Generally speaking, it seems that AI keeps surprising us by one of 2 main ways. 1. Finding the correct solutions to problems by using methods that seem very strange to humans. Or, number 2, by just simply being better than we expect. As it turns out, both were the case here. Here's a quote from co-lead researcher Paul Wigley. Quote, "I didn't expect the machine could learn to do the experiment itself from scratch in under an hour. It did things a person wouldn't guess, such as changing one laser's power up and down and compensating with the other. It may be able to come up with complicated ways that humans haven't even thought of to get experiments colder and make measurements more precise. Next, we plan to employ the artificial intelligence to build even larger Bose-Einstein condensates faster than we've ever seen before." End quote. Dr. Michael Hush, another lead researcher on the project, says that the AI system's ability to set itself up quickly every morning and compensate for any overnight fluctuations would make this fragile technology much more useful for field measurements. Quote, "You could make a working device to measure gravity that you could take in the back of your car, and the artificial intelligence would recalibrate and fix itself no matter what. It's cheaper than taking a physicist everywhere with you." End quote. According to the research paper, other uses for such AI technology include quantum chemistry, femtosecond physics, and quantum computing. The idea of artificial intelligence theoretically being used in the field of science isn't anything new. Demis Hassabis from Google's DeepMind did mention science as an easy pick application for AI.
Well, the thing I get most excited about, if we look sort of 10 years plus out, is developing the type of technology that we publish now a lot further, and building up those capabilities so eventually we can have, say, scientific advances being assisted by AI, either AI scientists or AI assisted science, and actually making new breakthroughs with the help of machine learning, like the sort of machine learning we do.
So in conclusion, it seems like AI is just starting to turn that corner from simply being an interesting idea to actually being practical. More specifically, an AI that can easily create a BEC could have profound impacts on science and technology. If you remember in my biocomputing video, I stated that researchers were looking into alternatives to quantum computers because they were largely impractical due to the near absolute zero temperatures that they needed to even function. Previously, it would take a team of physicists a long time to painstakingly adjust parameters to get down to a temperature where a quantum computer could function, but now artificial intelligence could do such tasks in under an hour. Breaking down this barrier now brings us one step closer to practical quantum computers, and other things such as atomic lasers.
We cool down substances near absolute zero.
We're still not to absolute zero.
Yeah, we can't reach it. That's the third law of thermodynamics.
Right.
But the Nobel Prize was given to scientists like at MIT that actually created Bose-Einstein condensates in laboratory. What does that mean? Atomic lasers in the future. Okay? Some people even think that it may give us a shortcut to teleportation, a new way of just literally beam atoms across the room if you can master the art of quantum coherence.
So I guess artificial intelligence is just scratching the surface of science, and the number of scientific breakthroughs aided by artificial intelligence in the future could be staggering. We'll just have to wait and see on this one. Alright, that's the end of the video, so thanks for watching guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. I also want to thank those of you who have been very supportive over Twitter. Those of you following on Twitter would know that my family's going through a bit of a tough time at the moment, and out of respect I can't say exactly what's happened, but I do appreciate all of your kind words and support. It really means a lot to me. Alright, cheers guys, this has been Dagogo. You've been watching Cold Fusion, and I'll catch you again soon for the next video. Have a good one.
Cold Fusion. It's new thinking.
Victory of a program over a human in the ancient board game Go has sparked intrigue and, in some cases, concern. It shows that a machine has approximated human intuition and outsmarted the best human brain in the game. It's something that scientists hadn't expected to happen for at least another decade, and it's a giant leap for artificial intelligence, showing that machines can learn on their own.
I think maybe the game ended.
No, I don't think so, because it looks like he is still counting.
No, I think he resigned.
Wow, I think you're right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
This was the moment a computer called AlphaGo beat a master of the ancient Chinese game Go. It's not the first time a grandmaster's been humbled by a machine. But what makes AlphaGo different is that it's the first demonstration that machines can truly learn and think in a human way. AlphaGo's victory shocked experts in the artificial intelligence community. Many thought such an event was at least a decade away.
There's a certain trend that I've been seeing that's been going on that I've only seen one other channel actually see this trend. Everybody else has pretty much been ignoring this trend for the most part. I mean, they might do like one video on it at most. But for some reason, Richie from Boston and I are on sort of the same wavelength. Even though we're not friends, even though we haven't been talking, I've received one email from him, and that's about it. I've never talked to the guy, okay? But he and I are on the same wavelength. We understand what's going on. You got universal basic income, you have robots taking jobs, you have brains melding with computers, and you have closings of chain stores. People are not seeing the pattern here. We have a huge change in our society. We have a huge change in our society, and no one's noticing this. Not at all. They're not noticing what's going on. Most people are too busy talking about World War III. They're not seeing what's really going on here in the background. I'm going to try to tie all this together so you guys see it. Okay, you see this. Elon Musk lays out plans to meld brains with computers. You're like, so what? Who cares, right? No, actually, there's a lot to this. If you start seeing the patterns, it makes a lot of sense. Okay. How does this relate? How does this relate at all? Family Christian stores are all closing. Every single family Christian store you've ever seen is closing this year. All. Well, that in itself is warrants enough news to make a video on, right? But that's not what we're talking about here. That's just part of it. How in the world does that relate to Elon Musk? What in the world? How does that relate to melding brains with computers? All this relates. What's going on? You got universal basic income. You got man and machine melding. You have robots taking jobs. You have automation. You have automation taking jobs with Amazon. Let me show you that now. Amazon killing more jobs than China. That means if you literally bought from China, you would kill less American jobs than buying from Amazon. That's what it means. How is that possible? How is that possible? They're making jobs. No, actually, for every job Amazon creates, they're killing 2 jobs. You see these family Christian stores that closed? People lost jobs. All these chain stores are closing locations right now. All of them are. There's a downward trend. Just like with the TV. The TV is going out. Everybody's on the internet. Same with chain stores. They're all going out. The only one that was actually making money in 2016 is Best Buy. Every single other one of them losing money, including Walmart. Walmart sets its eyes now on Amazon. They know that they're the big enemy. They're actually worried that they're going to lose business. And they sell groceries. Walmart sells groceries. But Amazon's starting to sell groceries as well. They got Amazon Go. Which, of course, if you don't know much about that, you should probably look into it. You just literally walk into a location, pick up an item, walk out. You don't pay. You don't go to a scanner. You don't talk to a human being. You just literally walk in, grab an item, walk out. It pays automatically on your Amazon account. That's what Amazon's doing now. Gee, do you think someone maybe lost a job in that little transaction there? There's no cashier. There's no customer rep. You walk in, grab an item, walk out. People don't see this pattern. Now, how does that relate to Elon Musk telling you that brains are going to melt with computers? Let me explain. Melding brains with computers means you're going to be online all the time. You're going to be online all the time. Elon Musk is also talking about universal basic income. What is that? That's where you get a basic income without working. Why? Because robots will be doing your job from now on. You'll be too busy putting your brain online and walking around being online all day long without a job. Okay, this is what we're talking about. You'll be too busy online surfing the web without a job, getting a universal basic income while robots are serving you food at McDonald's. That's what's going to be happening in like 30 years. This is the growing trend. Now, of course, there might be a World War III down the corner. I don't know. I don't think it's because we dropped a couple bombs in Syria, or even if we went after North Korea. I don't think it would start World War III. Even their best friend China volunteered to nuke North Korea for us because they didn't want the United States pissed off at them. Okay, because we buy all their stuff. We buy all their stuff. Where do you think all that stuff on Amazon comes from? it's so funny too, because they love to hide it. You know, Bose. People think like the Bose speakers. They're like from made in America. They're like genuine American-made speakers that cost hundreds and even thousands of dollars. They must be made in America. No, they're made in China. Everything's made in China. People don't understand this. It's just like so. Yeah, I don't even want to get into it. People just don't get it. So, melding brains with computers, universal basic income, all the chain stores closing, you're going to be buying on Amazon with your brain in the next 10, 20 years. You're not going to be working a job. You're going to be walking around getting your fast food from McDonald's robots. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Oh, you're crazy. World War III is going to happen tomorrow. No, actually, World War III is not going to happen tomorrow. This is actually happening, what I'm talking about. And so far, everything I've been saying has been happening, even though the videos don't get tons of views talking about this, apparently, for some reason. I don't know why. They're too busy worrying about World War III and thinking Trump betrayed everybody and all this kind of stuff. And of course, Trump hasn't been doing the right thing. I understand that, but that's not what this video is about. Trump obviously has been compromising, doing all this goofy stuff. I don't see Trump causing World War III anytime soon. He might eventually. I doubt it, though. I really doubt it. If World War III happens, it won't be because Trump dropped a bomb on North Korea. I don't think so. That's just my 2 cents worth on that topic, because some people wanted to know. I think this is really the thing. There's actually two things that are on the horizon that I see that are a big deal. I see Islam infiltrating the West as a big deal, but I see it as the elite using it as a tool. I see Islam as a tool to be used by the elite to control the West, to get rid of freedom of speech, freedom of religion, all that kind of stuff. It's being used as a tool to control the masses. And you have these big monopolies like Amazon, Google, Facebook that are going to be controlling the masses as well. That's why you see these problems on YouTube with monetization that people are having. And you see these problems on Facebook and Twitter where they're trying to censor certain speech, and they're using algorithms to basically fight certain types of speech to make it more politically correct. Amazon is no saint. You know, I was looking at this article over here, Family Christian article, or not Family Christian. This article by an atheist about Family Christian. Okay, he's just mocking some pastors. Let me show you what's going on here. Okay, so basically what's going on is some people are claiming that Family Christian was hit because they were selling heretical books. Now they're going out of business. No, actually that's not what's going on. All the chain stores are closing for all types of businesses because Amazon is destroying them. That's what's going on. Now, Amazon is not exactly being blessed by God, considering the fact that Amazon made the first transgender show that started all this transgender stuff, people. They were the ones that put it on Netflix, their whole transgender show. The first one they made, it was like 5 years ago, before all this transgender mania happened. So yeah, I don't think God's blessing Amazon. This is part of the plan. People are just too ignorant and naive. They're like, oh, it's because they sold heretical books. I agree that they sold heretical books. It's not good. That's not why they're closing shop, okay? Everybody's closing shop, good and bad. Everyone, because Amazon is crushing them. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Also, please consider our expanded exclusive content that you can get for just $1. which includes background research and materials and clips. To learn more about this, please click the link on the left. Again, thanks for watching. And thank you for all those who do support God Rules here on YouTube.
There's nothing, perhaps, that looks quite so dated as yesterday's view of the future.
Seattle's salute to science in the century to come, to see how man will live and work and play in the year 2000.
Seattle's Space Needle and monorail, built for the 62 World's Fair, probably tell us more about the assumptions of that time than the realities of our own. Most often, predictions miss the really profound shifts.
What Eve will look like in AD 2000.
Like this pre-war assumption that the 21st century woman of fashion would still have a lady's maid to help her dress.
Shoes will have cantilever heels, and an electric belt will adapt the body to climatic changes.
Pity then the people who work here. This is Building 99 in Redmond near Seattle. It's Microsoft's research facility. In here, the predictions that they make determine the future of the company, and perhaps, if they're right, all of our futures.
Do you need help finding something?
We're betting the company on advances in AI. We think this is the future.
Reach back.
I've been given exclusive access to meet the people and see the projects that Microsoft believe will shape that future.
It's reached the point now where people can have, very natural conversations with software. Software can understand what they're saying.
Are you here looking for Eric?
I am looking for Eric, yes.
Eric is not here at the moment.
And looked at how they were actually walking.
Eric Horvitz is head of Microsoft's AI program.
Figuring out who would want the elevator and when, how many seconds later. So
even the lifts here run on this new technology.
So much of our civilization, what we think is special about humans, is based in our intellect, in our ability to see, understand, reason, converse, and collaborate. And for the first time in history, we're getting close to building machines that have some of that intellect.
We went from a place where it would get it right about 80% of the time, to a point where now it's actually achieved human parity in speech recognition. And that's something that just happened, 7 months ago.
You can probably make sense of the jumble of colours and shapes in this photograph almost instantly, even though chances are you've never seen it before. But consider what it would take for a machine to do that. Well, now they can.
We've taken natural language processing research and computer vision research and had people from those two fields sort of work together to be able to generate sentences about pictures. So we can actually look at another one here. The sentence that we generate with no context other than the content of the image here is a man swimming in a pool of water. It used to be the case that it took thousands and thousands of images and hours to train. Now we're down to dozens and minutes or even seconds to train a new model.
So the building blocks for an AI world are almost complete. Computers can now not only recognize pictures and objects, but gestures and video and speech and text and faces and even emotion. All of these skills can be used by developers in an almost infinite variety of combinations to create new applications.
It's been a long time coming. There's been research that Microsoft's been doing for really 15, 20 years. Only recently are we seeing these services at a level of quality that a developer could actually build on and have reliable experiences from. Because, prior to that, the amount of data required to truly make high confident predictions from artificial intelligence wasn't there, and the computing power wasn't there.
But a world of super intelligent computers understanding everything isn't everyone's idea of technological perfection.
Does any part of this future terrify you at all?
I'm concerned with the potential misuse of this technology by malevolent forces, by people with ill will, by state and non-state actors who can gain strong powers with these technologies. I happen to also think that the answer to some of that is the AI itself, because there's no better defense and no better detector of malevolence than AI software itself.
And very soon we might forget we're talking to computers at all. AI systems can have human-facing front ends known as bots for us to interact with. For example, Xiaoice has been developed by Microsoft to interact with people on Chinese social media. And with every conversation, Xiaoice learns both about the individual and humanity.
So apparently you're Mr. Bot.
Absolutely, that's what they call me around here.
More officially, Dan Driscoll is development manager and principal architect of the Microsoft Bot framework. He says humans love bots.
They form emotional connections with some of these chatbots and have long conversations. I think the average for Xiaoice is 23 turns per conversation. So people will chat, say, hey, how are you doing? And Xiaoice will respond back, say, oh, I'm having a good day, how are you doing? They form a kind of an emotional relationship. And that's one of the things that we put into chatbots. So many bots have both a sort of like a factual and IQ component and an emotional or personality, an EQ component.
AI will not only be able to know and recognize everything and everyone, it will know how to charm us, how to persuade us, it will know how to reassure us and how to frighten us. Instead of us operating the computers will be pushing our buttons. Whoever controls the AI probably controls the future. There's already disquiet about using big data to target voters. Well, imagine what an all-seeing, all-knowing AI could do.
Are you concerned at all about, for example, AI in elections, AI
Absolutely.
in our democratic processes?
AI systems can be designed to persuade, in an algorithmic way, to optimize goals of changing someone's beliefs or enhancing their beliefs about one thing versus another. The prospect that someday data mining, data analysis, very close targeting of particular demographics can be used in elections to influence elections is a very, very important debate. On the one hand, we can see and one can imagine how authoritarian regimes could use these technologies to do tracking, surveillance, persuasion that would strengthen this authoritarian posture and position. On the other hand, these techniques of AI also open up the world for pluralism, for more discussion and collaboration, and understanding and tracking, even understanding sources of persuasion and signaling coming into one's life. So we see this prospect of things going in different directions.
So we shouldn't ignore the huge potential benefits. About 30 miles outside Seattle, I saw Microsoft's AI farm. Data-driven farming could revolutionize how the planet feeds itself. However, measuring precise moisture and nutrient levels for each part of a field would require thousands of sensors and be prohibitively expensive. Instead, an AI model of the farm can be built with just a few sensors in the ground and a few photographs from the air.
This is going to help the farmer reduce costs, use much less water, use much less lime, use less fertilizer, less nutrients in the soil. So this is definitely going to have impact on reducing the cost as well as less harm on the environment.
And the early indications are that yields will rise as fast as costs fall. Using cheap cameras and tethered helium balloons, AI could revolutionize subsistence farming in the developing world. Artificial intelligence is growing fast, getting smarter all the time. While some fear it could end our species, others believe it will liberate humanity. Very soon, AI will take off, and we will find out if we control it or it controls us.
It's Monday, July 31st, so let's get the latest Apple iPhone 8 rumor of the week or day out of the way first thing. According to Bloomberg, Apple is indeed working on a 3D facial recognition system for the iPhone 8, or perhaps more models than just the newest phone. And will it replace the home button fingerprint reader? Well, so far, no one really seems to know the answer there. But another question is, why a face scanner instead of a fingerprint reader for security? Well, according to Bloomberg, a 3D facial recognition system is both faster and more secure than a print reader because it scans more data points. And a 3D reader is even more secure since it's harder to fake it out with, say, a 2D photo of someone's face. Anyway, it seems like Apple is planning to either A, include both systems on the new phone, B, only use the 3D facial tech, or C, include both but activate the new technology in a future software update. Place your bets. It's full-on warfare in the graphics card segment as AMD and NVIDIA continue to roll out faster, more complex GPUs. The latest entry, AMD's Radeon RX Vega 64, a 12.6 teraflop monster that will ring in at a surprisingly affordable $500. In their crosshairs, NVIDIA's popular GTX 1080 series of cards. Oh, and if you can afford a $200 bump for the liquid-cooled version of the new Vega 64, performance rises to nearly 14 teraflops. That's flopping fast. So is gaming driving this war for your GPU dollar? Yes, but the increasing demand for GPUs to dig through digits while mining cryptocurrency is also pushing demand and the drive to improve performance. And by the way, if $500 or $700 for a GPU isn't in your budget, AMD is also offering a $400 card, the Vega 56 as well. And if you order now, you might even get your Vega 64 card in this lovely collector's edition aluminum casing. Very nice. Hit the link for all you need to know about the new Vega cards and several card video monitor package deals, which are expected to ship on August 14th. How scary is AI? Well, if you've seen a lot of sci-fi movies, you probably have a good idea, but of course those are just movies. In terms of real-life AI scares, it seems Facebook just had one, and they even shut down the systems involved. What happened? According to Android Headlines, Facebook AI researchers were teaching their AI bots how to communicate with each other, and they developed on their own a language that the researchers could not decipher. The language system was highly efficient, much more so than the cumbersome English their lowly human creators were using, and it also appeared that the chatbots were beginning to negotiate and plan for the future. That was enough for Facebook to pull the plug on the project, but you know how it goes. Someone will think they figured out a way to continue the research in a safe way, and we'll be fighting Terminators inside the Matrix by this time next year. Better start building that bunker and hoarding those Costco instant noodles. In the meantime, you can get more tech news updates at digitaltrends.com, on our Facebook page, or on our YouTube channel, and be sure to catch all of our podcasts on iTunes or wherever you get yours. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
OpenAI's goal is to build safe, artificial general intelligence. We know that AI can be extremely beneficial to humanity, and it's going to require fundamental advances to see what it's really capable of. Dota is a great testbed for artificial intelligence. It's a very complicated game with a large competitive scene. And what this means is that you have to develop new techniques. You have to push forward the boundary of what's possible in order to get anywhere. For this project, we're building a Dota player. We're starting with a bot capable of beating top professional players at Dota 1v1. The rules of Dota are so complicated that if you just think really hard about how the game works and you try to write those rules down, you're not even going to be able to reach the performance of a reasonable player. So our bot is trained entirely through self-play. It starts out completely random with no knowledge of the world and simply plays against a copy of itself, which means it always has an evenly matched opponent. And it climbs this ladder of skill level until it's able to reach the performance of the best professional players in the world. The International is Dota's World Championships. 20,000 fans come from around the world to watch professionals compete for a $24 million prize pool. Over the course of the International, we tested our bot against a number of professional players. It turns out that our AI has learned really robust skills in the game that is actually really competitive with these pros. Many of the pros wanted to keep playing the bot and started talking about using it as part of their training routine.
My first impressions is it's pretty easy to get tilted from losing to like a bot, and I think the problem relies in people don't usually expect such a strong bot. Now he has a double wave and I can't trade hits with him, and he's going to be level 3 before me with full HP. I think, I don't know, watching the replay, honestly I just learned something, so it's pretty helpful. Like I felt like I'm one of the strongest SFs, and knowing that this move, like if I can foresee that if I make this move, this will happen to my wave and this is what's going to happen, it's just pretty nice to experience it. Like someone could tell me this could happen, but I think experiencing it is just another level of knowledge.
In addition to the pros, we thought it was pretty cool that a number of amateur players enjoyed playing the bot as well.
It does kind of, I think that it would open up out of the box thinking, because there's many ways to win a game of Dota specifically. Okay, he's ignoring the fairy fires. The bot is good. The bot is better than I could have ever imagined. That we can get one hit from the donkey. Hello. He took the bait. Okay. So your bot does not attack random things on the ground.
Does not attack random things on the ground.
It predicts where you go in the darkness. Yeah, that I did. Can I play again?
You're very welcome.
Okay, we're gonna go one more.
This event was us introducing our Dota project to the world. The next step is to try to build a team of 5 AIs and see if we can get it to reach the level of the top human professionals. Beyond that, we want to start mixing together AIs and human players on a single team and try to reach levels of performance that neither of them can reach on their own. We're super excited to see where that goes and hope that you'll stay tuned.
The emergency destruct system.